Welcome. Here we are today in Chapel Lawn Memorial Gardens, Crown Point, Indiana. We're here to visit somebody I personally knew back in the 90s that got murdered in Hammond, Indiana. Brandy Sherry was her name. I come to the cemetery many times doing videos, and I didn't know Brandy was here. Look at that, that's beautiful. So we're going to visit her grave, pay our respects, and then we're going to go to several locations and tell you the story. So stick with me. Sad story. A friend of mine introduced me to her. She's super nice, one of them people that was fun to be around. She was awesome. She was an awesome person. Terrible what happened to her. She was a super nice person and just got involved with the wrong people. Rumor on the streets is she was doing some business transactions with some people that were or may be involved with some gang activity. And what I heard is she owed some money, and next thing you know, she come up missing. Somebody was here not too long ago. And the real flower is still alive. That's nice. Brandy M. Sherry, 1974 to 1994. She was only 19. They found her body like 6 months later. So we're going to go to a couple locations and tell you the story. Appreciate you watching the video today. If you enjoy it, please subscribe, maybe leave a like. It helps with the algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. It's a very nice cemetery. I have lots of relatives in this cemetery here. Probably 15 aunts and uncles. My grandparents are here. So let's go tell you the story about Brandy Sherry.
The crisp air of a mid-February morning carried a chill, a stark contrast to the warmth of the Sherry household. Brandy Sherry, a vibrant young woman of 19, was preparing for her day. Her laughter echoed through the house as she shared a light moment with her mother, a memory her mother would cling to in the dark days ahead. Brandy was a beloved daughter, a loyal friend, and a cherished member of her community. She had dreams, aspirations, and a contagious zest for life. But fate, it seemed, had a cruel twist in store. That day, the 14th of February, 1994, marked the beginning of a nightmare for Brandy's family. Brandy vanished, leaving behind a void that whispered of unanswered questions and unbearable pain. Her disappearance sent shockwaves through the quiet town, shattering the illusion of safety and peace. The days that followed were a blur of frantic searches, desperate pleas, and mounting fear. In the winter of 1994, 19-year-old Brandy Sherry vanished from Hammond, Indiana. 6 months later, her remains were discovered in a drainpipe of the Little Calumet River. Could a bizarre photograph found only 1 month after her disappearance be a clue to solving her murder? On March 8, 1994, A disturbing discovery at Merrillville, Indiana's Mr. Soft Car Wash prompted employees to summon police to their location. That afternoon, a 5x7 black and white photograph depicting a woman, bound, gagged, and wrapped in plastic, was found by the car wash attendants. The photo's poor quality offered few clues about the victim's identity. Additionally, law enforcement noted it was impossible to determine the age of the photograph, or if the subject depicted in it was living or dead at the time it was taken. On July 25th, in nearby Highland, Indiana, 2 children seeking respite from the summer heat found solace at the Little Calumet River. As they cast their fishing lines into the water near Liable Road, one boy snagged an unexpected and horrifying catch: a Nike brand women's hiking shoe, with skeletal remains of a foot nestled inside. For the next several hours, a frantic search unfolded along the Little Calumet. Teams of divers clad in black neoprene plunged into the murky depths, while law enforcement officers meticulously scoured the riverbank. Unfortunately, despite their efforts, the search yielded no further clues, and the investigation stalled. Then, on September 4th, 2 children spotted a suspicious object protruding from a drain pipe of the Little Calumet River. Curiosity piqued, they went in for a closer look at the plastic-wrapped mass. Upon closer inspection, however, a sickening realization dawned on the young men. The mysterious object was a set of severely decomposed human remains. The remains, crudely wrapped in plastic and stuck within the drainpipe, were found in the 7800 block of Nevada Street in Hammond, Indiana. They were too decomposed for immediate gender determination, however. Recovered clothing suggested a female victim: size 5 women's jeans, a women's hoodie and leather jacket, and a floral-patterned bra. A cigarette lighter, tube of lipstick, a single house key with a purple clip, and 50 cents were also found in the jacket's pocket. No identification was located. Investigators explored 2 possibilities. Either the remains were initially dumped into a nearby sewer system and lodged in the drainage pipe, or they were deposited in the river and subsequently drawn into the pipe by water flow. For 3 days, the Lake County Aquatic Underwater Recovery and Rescue Unit conducted an intensive underwater search near the recovery site. Divers meticulously sifted through the riverbed mud and ventured over 30 feet into the drainage pipe, aiming for a full recovery of the remains. Examination revealed the remains lacked a foot, while the remaining foot was still encased in a Nike brand shoe. Notably, this shoe matched the one discovered in July, approximately 400 yards upstream. Subsequent forensic analysis confirmed the foot belonged to the recovered remains. Faced with an unidentified victim, investigators released images of the recovered personal effects in a September 13th newspaper article. This tactic proved successful. Barbara Corey Brandy's mother immediately recognized the distinctive purple key ring. Her 19-year-old daughter, Brandy Sherry, who had been missing since February, carried the same one. Upon comparing her own house key to the one shown in the photo and finding it to be a match, Barbara contacted the coroner's office. Investigators, accompanied by the Lake County coroner, traveled to Barbara's residence. The key recovered from the remains successfully unlocked the home's front door, confirming Barbara's worst fears. A later dental analysis would provide definitive confirmation the remains belonged to Brandy. Her cause of death was ultimately determined to be due to blunt force trauma. Brandy was last seen by her mother at her Hammond residence on February 14th at 7:30 p.m. She had requested to borrow a sweater and mentioned visiting her boyfriend on the south side of town. After the short conversation, Barbara left for her night shift at work. Brandy's boyfriend, whose name was never revealed, however, claimed he never saw Brandy that evening. He reported her absence to Barbara the following morning. On February 16th, Barbara and her ex-husband Lenny, who lived in nearby Highland, Indiana, filed a missing persons report. Though estranged until Brandy's teenage years, Lenny had spent the past 6 years actively rebuilding their relationship. He told detectives he and his ex-wife dedicated the last 6 months to a relentless search for their daughter. Lenny revealed through their own investigation they had discovered Brandy's social circle had quietly evolved, encompassing both a long-standing group of high school friends and a newer ones that Lenny referred to as being from society's dark side. Brandy was found just 1 day shy of what would have been her 20th birthday. She had been previously employed at Schweitzer's Bakery, Highland, Indiana, and Bozo's Hot Dogs, Hammond, Indiana, and was described as a good girl with no known enemies. She was laid to rest in Lake County's Chapel Lawn Memorial Gardens. The investigation, aided by the FBI, failed to identify any suspects. A connection between the chilling photo discovered at the car wash and Brandy's murder also remains unknown. Both Brandy's killer and the woman in the photograph remain unidentified. The tragic case of Brandy Sherry remains an unsolved mystery, a chilling reminder of the dark side of human nature. Despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering hope of her family, Brandy's killer has never been brought to justice. Brandy was a very sweet girl, and her vibrant spirit and infectious laughter lives on in the hearts of those who knew and loved her, a testament to a life that was tragically cut short.